Hi, I'm Jim Dodson, the Florida Bike Guy. So I always like to hear from people who have confirmed this message that I get out about bike safety and insurance and helmet technology is is useful and that people apply it in their lives. So a little war story from a lawyer's office. I received a call today from someone who lives out of state. They were in Florida and heard me speak somewhere about insurance and helmet technology and what have you, and did something about it. They went home and reviewed their uninsured motorist. They significantly increased it. They picked up the Trek WaveCel helmet. And it turns out that one of them was riding recently and was unfortunately struck by a car from the rear, kind of an unusual crash. Pretty serious injuries with some fractures and other injuries. But you know, if there is a silver lining from this, number one, no head injury. That is due in part to the helmet technology, but in part to the mechanics of the injury in the accident, because I clearly get a number of people injured with helmets on who end up with concussions. But they felt very comfortable because they had the WaveCel helmet on by Trek, which is really rated well for minimizing the incidence of concussion. And they had significantly increased their uninsured motorists. So while they called us after a crash, they had acted on what they heard me talk about, which is such a relief to me personally and gratifying that the message that we put out is being heard and acted on. Although this person had been significantly injured in a crash, they did not have a concussion, and they were well protected by their insurance, by the uninsured motorists that they had purchased. Kind of as a sidelight, now this crash occurred out of state where I couldn't represent them, but we have spent considerable time today looking for and finding what we think is the right person for them in their situation. You know, it's many times we looked at many websites, looking at law firms and what have you, but just get a sense of not only that they've got a good website, but that they know what they're talking about and it's the right match for someone. So that's another thing that we do for those who need us, you know, even if we can't personally step in and help them because they got injured out of state. So, now remember that I'm a personal injury lawyer. I have a special emphasis in cycling cases. We represent cyclists regardless of where you are in Florida, and regardless of whether you were injured on the bike or in a car crash or whatever. If you need me, call me. I'm here to help. I'm Jim Dodson, the Florida Bike Guy. Be safe and get the insurance and use the technology. Thanks so much. Bye.